it's already been 10 minutes? Ain't no way. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Oh, okay. So, I wanted to speak on something that I've been like really experiencing myself and wanting to like talk on, because I'm seeing a lot of people who kind of got the knowledge from the 5D, from the upper, like their higher selves, all the esoteric knowledge, all the spiritual knowledge. And the reason why I'm using the word knowledge is because they're not applying it to actually make it wisdom. And a lot of people are moving into this thing where they believe that like the real work that needs to be done is something that is so tangible, but the only reason that you're not seeing things manifest in the physical is because you don't have the actual spiritual alignment to actually sustain the work that you're trying to do. A lot of the times, like, we get all this stuff like laws of the universe, the hermetic principles, tarot, astrology, numerology. We get all this like knowledge, and I think we get so caught up in the bliss, or there's a word that I'm looking for, almost like this like intoxication of knowledge, because like once you start to learn something new, it's exciting, woo woo, but like we get so caught up in that and we don't actually do the work to really like hone in on that, so that we can actually do the work that we need to do on the physical soul work. So the soul moves slow, you know what I'm saying? Like, people could be practicing tarot and they not really a master of that until it's been like 13 years, and they think that 3 years is enough, or they think 3 months is enough, and like 3 weeks sometimes is enough for them, like, you know what I'm saying, to actually like say, oh, I've done the work. And like a lot of things have been happening where the community is like, is definitely coming back into this thing of like self-preservation, like every man for themselves type thing, because the people who did, or I would say like, I've seen a lot of people who probably did get like those spiritual downloads, they didn't really know what to do with them, and instead of like really doing the work of like honing in on fortifying, like strengthening the spirit and building up your spiritual stamina, they just like, oh, I have knowledge, I have all this like knowledge, but I'm not actually like applying it to be wisdom. Because realistically, the only reason that you're not seeing real work be done on a community level, you're not seeing people actually be liberated, you're not seeing financial breakthroughs in those things, is because there's something going on within your soul. There's something that you're not doing, there's something that you're not sitting with, you're not healing. Like, people really equate like visible measurable things as like, oh, this is work. But realistically, if you've been in the gym for 3 months, you not like, you seeing like a little bit of the results, but like you not really seeing full blown body. Like, you could be in there consistently, but like you not seeing like bodybuilder body in 3 months for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably see it in 6 months. But what is even keeping you going to the gym consistently? Because it's not, the work at the gym is not just about the gym itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is actually keeping the body to be able to consistently get up and say, I'm gonna go to the gym, or consistently eat correctly, or have certain discipline when your intake? That's your spirit. That's what your spirit, that's all spiritual work. And like a lot of the times, like, I don't think people see like doing actual spiritual work as real work, because it doesn't have the physical instant proof like manual labor does. And that's just something that we've been indoctrinated to like kind of believe, especially because spirituality is like passive, and we live in a very like aggressive society that kind of like, I want to say, one has this like hustle culture to it. I don't want to say it's because of hustle culture, but like it has this like energy to it that's like, if you're not doing something in the physical, you ain't doing nothing at all. But realistically, the only thing that is sustaining the physical is what you're doing in the spiritual realm. And like that stuff requires like discipline, that stuff requires persistence, that stuff requires actual transformation. Like you have to be open to allow your vessel to like be able to even accept a whole entire new vibration. And that's way more than just having all this spiritual knowledge and this like esoteric text in the back of your head, you know what I'm saying? And I even saw somebody post something where they was like, soul work is slow work. And I'm like, yeah, duh, because we're so used to seeing quick tangible results, and we're so used to seeing like, oh, this person physically got up and went to go speak on something, that they're doing the work. But it's like, no, there's spiritual resilience, there's courage. That's a spiritual thing that has to be there to like actually let that thing manifest. And faith without works is dead. But what makes the work work? Faith. Faith, you know what I'm saying? Faith activates the actual vessel and the actual work so that it can actually have power to be sustained and have longevity. Like y'all don't realize that, like when you're saying things like, oh, like I just want to, you know, like I just want to get into a space where like we're actually doing work. It's like, well, if you want to be a leader, why can't you lead? Because you don't have the spirit of a leader yet. Oh, I just want to have money. Well, if you don't have the money, it's because you don't have the spirit of someone who's wealthy yet. You know what I'm saying? Like work alone is not what actually sustains those things. Because if it's one thing that I've learned from people who are highly wealthy and rich, is that like it is a spirit first type of thing. Like before they're rich and they're wealthy and stuff like that, yo, I don't know why it feels like this thing keeps moving, but before they're wealthy, they believe that they're wealthy. Before that they have they like anything, when they go through any types of hardship, they believe that they are that thing before that thing has even come to a manifestation, because they will do the actual spiritual work. And a lot of times like they'll talk about like how like a millionaire, like somebody gets like $1 million and they go broke within a year, because you did not have the actual spirit, the actual discipline, the actual things to actually sustain what you physically gain. So if we're gonna just look at things and say, oh, you know, like physically we're not doing anything, or like we're not actually making like things shake or whatever, or like we're not actually changing the world, you have to look at yourself, bro. You have to look at yourself and really see like, am I doing my meditation? Am I actually sitting with myself and like seeing myself to actually heal those things? And it's more than just saying like, oh, I sat with myself, I finished the book. It's like you have to kind of have this like internal standing and knowing that like there is something that I am constantly being in connection with. Like I'm constantly being a channel and an extension of God's love. And I have to remember that throughout everything. Like one mantra could get you so far, but if I'm like, okay, throughout this is going to help me actually change the world, and this is going to actually help me like move things and create a better environment for myself